yarn or fiber to use? And is there a difference in your favorites between what you like to knit with versus what you like to spin with?
That is a super good question. And I don't God, I don't want to be like that person that's like I don't really have a favorite, but I don't really have a like particular fiber that's like my favorite. I mean, I'd say it would depend on the project. I like using stuff that's maybe a little bit more out of pocket. So, I mean, I think, and I might not be normal here, I'm a little bit more excited about, like, I'll get excited about a certain thing, and then the fiber really dictates the project more so than the project dictating the fiber. I mean, I spend a lot of merino. That's, a fan fave. So, I spin and knit with a lot of merino. I always recommend like Cordell for new spinners just because anything with like a merino it's real cottony, and that's why like everybody likes it because it's real soft. But I find can be a little bit difficult pre-drafting where you're kind of loosening up the fibers for new spinners. The long wools, and Cordell's kind of a blend between like a merino and like a Leicester, like a longer wool. So I feel like it's kind of a good Goldilocks fiber of like it's kind of slippy. It's got longer fibers, which the longer the fiber, the you can get more twist in it before it starts coming apart, which for new spinners can be fun. That can be helpful. Because most people, when they start spinning, it's either it's getting way too twisty and knotty, what am I doing? Or it's the opposite of it won't stay together, what am I doing? So if you're having the it won't stay together, what am I doing? You need more twist and maybe you'll try a longer fiber length. But as far as knitting, I mean, I'm pretty equal opportunity. I love alpaca and Angora and merino. Yeah, I like many things. I think the staff made me this. It's made out of all sorts of stuff, including locks, and I wear that all the
Oh,
time.
nice. Yeah, that's really pretty. I've been admiring it as you've been chatting.
Thank you. It's a giant sweater, and so it sits on my office chair because I go from hot to cold to hot to cold all the time, and so then I have like my giant sweater.
And then I wanted to know more about spinning wheels. Do you have a favorite one? Because you have access to so many because you're a dealer for Spinolution. So do you have a favorite one that you tend to gravitate
Well,
towards?
I'm clearly a Spinolution fangirl. My first spinning wheel was a Louet, or Louette, however you say it. I notoriously say everything wrong. Um, which I have nothing bad to say about them. It was a fantastic wheel. I loved learning on it. It was the standard single treadle and an Irish tension, which was what I liked about it because which means it had kind of a stronger pull, meaning the wheel pulls the fiber from you a little sturdier. Which for me, I mean, it's all just preference. I really liked that. And so I was actually really hesitant to switch when I wanted a second slash smaller wheel for taking around because I get you on the space thing. I was apprehensive to move to a different kind of uptake, but I was looking at the different brands and I got a Spinolution Polywog, which is the little one, thinking it would be my secondary travel wheel. And then when I got it and the mechanics on it and the ergonomics on it was so much better than what I had, it went from being like, I mean, my husband and I both sat there and like took that, and you didn't have to, like they come pretty much assembled. Like my Lewitt, I had to like totally put together and varnish, and like it was a thing. And so we just both were like, ooh. And so then that quickly became, then I was addicted and it quickly went from being my like secondary travel wheel to the one I wanted to use all the time, which then led to being a dealer, which then led to having I don't have all of their wheels, but I have most of them because I've made so many videos. So for me, the brand would definitely be Spinolution just because it checked all the boxes for me. They're made in the States. Their shops are in Washington State and California. They're like small family business. The wood is like Baltic birch from California. So, clearly supplies and where they come from is very important to my business. So that just fell right in there with it. So, like, that was really easy for me to fall in love with. And then just the ergonomics, not having to oil them. They run off ball bearings. There was just so many pros to it from what I had been using. And then I'm going to sound like a hater, but like going to like spinning groups and stuff here, and it was so cool to see all the different types of wheels. But like I enjoyed that mine didn't have as many like strings and springs and moving parts, and like having kids and dogs and all the, I didn't need...
And the birds, we hear the birds.
Yeah, and the birds, sorry. Yeah, I don't need anything with any more that's like too fussy. Like it needs to be pretty, compact for me. As far as favorite wheel, I really like if I had to pick one, which I would hate to have to pick one, I love the B wheels, which fold in. I keep thinking you can see me on the camera, but you can't. I put my hands close together. The whole wheel folds into like a box. And so, but then it can raise up, so it looks totally weird. Like it doesn't have like that beautiful normal spinning wheel look, but it does. It's like exactly the right size. It's very responsive, and it folds into a box so I can shove it in the corner or bring it with me. So I think if I had to pick one, I would go with one of the B wheels from Spinolution.
I remember seeing Dawn Prickett, that we're both friends with, fiber besties with. I remember her posting something about, was it a Firefly or something?
She's got the electric. That's one I don't have. But
that kind of blew my mind because, like you, because I'm not into, I don't spin. So, like, in my mind, it's like the big giant wheel that, like, you find in, like...
Oh, yeah, Dawn just throws it on the couch and, like, props her feet up and spins. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah, like, something that, like, from the 1800s, like... very old-fashioned, maybe even earlier than 1800, but like the big, huge, historic.
Well, I think that's what spinning appealed to me just in general. And I mean, knitting as well. You were talking about like you're literally taking like yarn and sticks and making things out of it. I enjoy that it can be anything from like super historical, like all of the beautiful old antique wheels. I just saw an antique wheel at our zoo. There was a barn owl exhibit, and there was like a great wheel like in the barn owl exhibit because like, I don't know, we live in Knoxville, so like that's how they roll in the Appalachia. They're like, yeah, it's a wheel and a barn owl. So that was like at the Knoxville Zoo. So I love like the old historic aspect of it. But then I also, I love innovation and technology, so just, I enjoy the full gambit of being able to do a really ancient craft on something that's very modern and, well worked out.
Yeah, it's great that they've made so many advances, especially the ergonomics and stuff of it, because you could spend hours, and I'm sure that comes with a lot of pain.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't want to bore everybody, but yeah, I could definitely go on about that just for like, what we were talking about, like if you're learning to spin and like or if you're wanting to spin like alpaca or like really fine fibers that are, here, get my hand in the right spot, that are really short fiber lengths, the quicker the twist you can have on that, the twist is like the glue. So if you have more twist, it helps hold it together. So if you've got those short little fibers, they're going to be more apt to come apart if you don't have enough twist. So if you can have a wheel that has a simultaneously very smooth and very quick rotation where you're not having to like pump your feet a million miles per hour to achieve that really smooth and very quick flyer head rotation, is going to make something that might have been incredibly frustrating for people something that's much easier to learn, and then they're not just throwing it in the corner and getting irritated with it. So, I mean, just stuff like that of being able to have the quickest ratios, the quickest spinning speeds on that brand, is an innovation in itself, as well as being able to get on the other end of the spectrum the ginormous bobbins, which I don't personally need the ginormous bobbins for what I'm usually spinning, but like people that are like my friend Ashley Martineau spins like these beautiful art yarns that she does all these great projects with, and even like some of the chunkier stuff that my friends and our staff made here, having that extra bobbin size versus the antique wheels that, you were having like little tiny bobbins. You couldn't really accommodate that. So it's just kind of fun to see spinning wheels evolve with what spinners and fiber artists are wanting to have.
That's awesome.
Have you fallen down the cottage industry rabbit hole yet? Well, if not, buckle up, Alice, and click on over to the description in the show notes and sign up. Then you can get ready for the most fun induction into the cult of all things yarn and fiber. This will include, but not limited to, free yarn, free ebooks, patterns, coupons, and much more. You don't want to miss out.